Okay, we'll go ahead and get started. And if other people join, that's fine. We'll see. So we're going to start continuing through Hebrews looking at Hebrews 2:4-6. If somebody could look that up and read that.
Okay, I've got it here.
Okay.
At the same time, God also testified by signs and wonders, various miracles, and distributions of gifts from the Holy Spirit, according to his will. For he has not subjected to angels the world to come that we are talking about, but one has somewhere testified. What is man that you remember him, or the Son of Man that you care for him? Verse 6 is
So I want to look also at the verse in the Old Testament that is being quoted here.
Yeah.
Because the author of Hebrews is referencing Psalm 62. So someone would look up Psalm 62 and read verses 10 and 12.
I have all of these, Dan. I mean, I don't want to hog it.
Please hog it. I don't have a book with me.
So this is Psalms 62, 10-12. Place no trust in opposition or false hope in robbery. If wealth increases, pay no attention to it. God has spoken once. I have heard this twice. Strength belongs to God, and faithful love belongs to you, Lord. For you repay each according to his works.
So how do you feel about being paid according to his works?
Well, it contradicts that part where laborers come in and they get paid. Laborers who come in late still get the same pay. So that's not according to the works. That's being generous. So I don't quite understand according his works may not be physical labor.
Oh, I think
remember in verse 10 it started out, place no trust in oppression, as if we're talking about a time when some people are saying, look, I can get money just by demanding it from other people.
We know that.
Look, don't trust in that. Just only trust in what you actually earn. Don't count on somebody being generous to you. But that is chesed love, that God has that faithfulness towards us that says, look, for your own good and growth, what I'm going to do is pay you what you actually earn, which sometimes can be great. But sometimes, yes, he can say, look, you're missing this and this, and then you don't get as much as you wanted. And certainly, just because you feel like you should get additional things doesn't mean you do get them.
And we just hear. Here's Alice.
Welcome, Alice. Turn your microphone on so we can hear you.
Are you a video tonight, Alice?
Not yet.
It depends on what device she has. Sometimes she has a device that it's easy to turn the video on. Sometimes, I know certain of my devices, it's not easy to turn the video on.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, how's that? Is it better?
No picture yet. I can hear you now.
That's
Joan went off and came on.
start video. You got to hit that.
There you go.
Joan, it just has a pin mark for yours.
I see Aaliyah now.
Joan, are you still with us?
Yeah, I am here. Can you see me?
There you are. Now I can.
Okay, we see you now. Thank you. Good.
And she'll be chiming in.
I see Dan.
Yeah.
Hi.
How can I see all of you at once, though? I can't do that.
There's a place over in the
There
top.
should be a gallery view on mine. It's on the left hand of the screen, but I'm not sure where it will be on yours.
It'll say gallery.
There should be
See,
a way to change to gallery view so you can see everybody at once.
Okay.
you see the word view top right on my machine?
No, well, I have my telephone because my iPad was working right.
Oh,
The Zoom crashed. Aaliyah, you didn't happen to hear my daughter come in. You didn't record it, did you?
No,
Good. Because I think,
we are recording now, but I was not recording when you were first trying to get on.
okay,
Are
right.
you going to be a good boo?
I want to tell you the reason I'm late. I had to go to the ear doctor and I had so much wax in my right ear, he had to
oh,
all out. And
Mhm.
he said that I don't hearing aid, watch the high frequencies. So
oh.
I'm glad.
Good.
Sounds good. Are you going to be a good boo, huh?
What's that? Oh, the dog.
I'm talking to my dog, Bushy.
Hi, she.
Nadine, I don't hear you or see you.
I think she was good. I knew about.
It looks like Nadine's
Okay, see you soon.
microphone is off.
Oh,
Yeah, and her picture doesn't show.
does my picture show?
Let's
No,
see, Nadine, your picture does not show, neither does your mic.
So my
and
picture.
Alice, your picture does not show, at least on my machine.
Yeah, we're not seeing your picture coming through right now. We are hearing you though, so
Yeah.
at least that's good. Nana, do not grab Boo. Boo being on the bed is okay. Boo is allowed to be on the bed just like you are.
Oh dear.
It's called bed privileges.
Yeah, they're siblings, and Nana thinks she can just monopolize the bed and be the only one who's allowed in the bed. But that is not the case. Nana's allowed up there, so is Boo. And
There
Nana,
comes-
you have to do it and allow Boo to be on the bed. See, because there are these two. But Boo do not sniff Nana's butt. Nana does not like her butt being sniffed. And you have a cold little nose. I sympathize with Nana not liking that. Stop sniffing her butt.
Ah! Oh dear.
Yeah, yeah.
Heck,
Yeah,
no,
like,
we
I
won't
mean-
know.
Nana does not like her brother sticking his nose in her butt. And, I
You know.
Nadine, you came in as a picture. Yay. Nadine, we can see you. I just talked to Ann. She said she's on her way.
There's Nadine. I see Nadine.
Hi.
So, Aaliyah, can we start again with the reading of Psalm 62?
Yes, let's read that again. So
Okay.
we're going to read Psalm 62, 10 through 12, because it's referenced in Hebrews 2 here. Somebody would read that again.
Okay. Do you want to read it, Nadine?
No, I don't have my Bible.
Okay, I've got it. Place no trust in oppression or false hope in robbery. If wealthy,
Robbery.
pay no attention to it. God has spoken once, I have heard this twice. Strength belongs to God, and faithful love belongs to you, Lord, for you repay each according to his works.
Okay, that was Psalm 62.
Yes.
But what number?
10 through
Psalm
12.
60 verses 10 through 12.
Oh, that's why I couldn't find it. I see it now. Okay.
Oh, I had it.
Yeah.
I got it written down here. I didn't see it. Sorry, I'm gonna have to outline the Bible verses.
So we're discussing how does everybody feel about the idea of being repaid according to what you are owed? How do you feel about that idea? Because sometimes it can be good. God can give you more than you thought you were owed. And then also it could be sometimes where, you say you need this and then God doesn't give it to you. Nana, You are not old sole possession in the bed. You have to allow your brother to be up here too. Your brother is allowed to exist, okay? You just have to deal with that. Your brother existing is not a bad thing. It's a good thing, it's okay, Nana. It's a good thing that your brother exists. You have to get along with that, okay? You have to be a good Nana and let your brother exist.
Can I make a comment?
Ándale.
I think that being paid according to his works may apply more to some more than physical work. I know the
Oh,
other places talk about the joy of God. And I think sometimes your pay might just be in that joy and that closeness to God that get after spending time, spending time in quiet but it also applies, I guess, to physical work because it's talking about increasing wealth and robbery.
that bothered me. Do not deceive by robbery. Do not.
Well, I mean, no, it's talking about, look, my plan for retirement is I'm going to rob these people, and then I'm going to have enough money for retirement because I robbed these people. And he says that is not a good plan. He said you
No.
shouldn't count on the fruits of robbery as what's going to support you.
Right.
And we look into that. Though God also does times when he expects you not to try to plan. Like his plans for the Sabbath were always, look, you're just going to take a whole year off and you're going to trust God that you will have enough food. And when Israel faithfully did that, it worked. But there was obviously times when they were like, how can that possibly work? You've got to put in the work every year to have a crop. So,
And Alice, you came in. We're looking at you.
Oh, I hit start video, and when I hit that, it worked.
Good.
Huh. That's an odd quote. It is. And I remember a friend used to say, when you pray, when I pray, I notice more coincidences. You can't always expect a prayer to come through, but it does sometimes.
And some people do try to make money by scamming other people. I mean, we've heard of the Madoff scheme kinds of things where they really are just robbing people.
And they had a whole scheme where they were counting on being able to keep doing that in order to stay out of trouble, and it did not work out for them.
Right.
I'm just curious, Nadine, what is to the right-hand side of your screen? There it goes. Oh, it's your hand. It's your hand. Got it.
Oh.
Got to hand it to
Maybe
you.
I have to hold things up like I do sometimes. I have to hold my devices up because they don't stay up on themselves.
Oh, right, right.
Right now I have just mine popped on a pillow blankets, and sometimes I have to adjust it because it doesn't stay there of itself.
I bought one of the holders that hold my iPad, and I got.
Yeah.
That's really good. It helps.
Keeps things steady.
Doesn't make my head steady, but it
I can relate. I can relate.
So this morning I had an English muffin and I bit into it and I saw something white on the muffin and I looked, it was my crown fell out.
Oh,
no,
save that crown.
Sometimes if you go in right away, they can glue it back on.
Yeah.
Tuesday, that's early. So.
I've had times when they said you waited too long and now we have to redo the root canal, and I did not like that at all because they made me pay again, and also it hurt just as much the second time as it did the first.
Uh-oh.
Oh, Aaliyah, that's awful.
So yeah, and so you should talk to your dentist and see what they advise if they want you to come right in and see if they can glue it on right away.
They did. No
Right.
charge. They're not going to charge for it.
Oh.
Great.
Huh. Gotta watch out for these dentists. That happened to me too.
Oh.
because after all, they ground a bunch of the teeth away to put the crown on, and so now what's left there is vulnerable to decay. So if the crown falls off,
Yeah.
Annie.
Aaliyah, did you send something that we were supposed to study? I didn't see anything.
I in an email I sent just I think last Friday on the 17th. I sent a thing that shows this whole lesson plan so that people hope to give people a chance to look at it if they wanted to.
Well, there she is. That should
And
be
you
Ann.
should be able to admit people also. So.
Just did. I just admitted Joan. Ann.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, good.
You probably, there you go. Hey, Ann.
Hello. Sorry, it took so longer.
Hi, that's all right. I was late too.
We're already down to Amos 5. Is that where we should start?
Yeah, we want to read Amos 5:18 to
cool.
let you just see a different reflection on the problems with God repaying people.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I have everything in front of me, but I don't want to read it all. So
Oh,
please.
I'll read the Amos 5 then. Okay.
Good.
Yeah,
I
go
didn't
ahead and read Amos 5:18
understand we hadn't
and
read
9.
it yet. Yeah. Woe to you who long for the day of the Lord. What will the day of the Lord be for you? It will be darkness and not light. It will be like a man who flees from a lion only to have a bear confront him. He goes home and rests his hand against the wall only to have a snake bite him.
Oh,
Eh, that doesn't sound like the same day of the Lord that I'd heard about before, but I
Yeah,
guess for
so
some
what
people
have
it's
you heard
true.
about the day of the Lord before? What day of the Lord do you remember and associate with that?
It would
Because
be
there
some
is a
kind
day
of-
of the Lord that comes commonly in the Old Testament. And many of the Jews that were being written to here would have known of a day of the Lord and had certain ideas about it. So have any of you guys heard of a day of the Lord and what do you know about it?
I can kind of think about Christ's resurrection of having that kind of significance, but I don't know if that's ever been referred to as a day of the Lord.
There is in the Old Testament prophets the concept of the day of the Lord, which is a resurrection of all the dead and a final
Resurrection.
judgment.
all I can
And God
remember.
judges everybody and puts all things right. So sort of what we now have in Revelation, there were sort of similar concepts in some of the Old Testament prophets.
So that's a
So we're
time
gonna look
when Christ is made manifest throughout creation and everything is perfect according to God's will, right?
Yes. So we're going to look at one of these prophecies in Jeremiah 23:5-6 is a prophecy about that many Jews at the time might have thought of as being a day of the Lord prophecy.
Okay, I can read that too, since I just came
Yeah,
here.
go ahead and read that.
Behold, the days are coming, declares the Lord, when I will raise up for David a righteous branch. He will reign as king and act wisely and do justice and righteousness in the land. In his days, Judah will be saved, Israel will live securely, and this is his name by which he will be called, the Lord our righteousness.
Huh.
Now it's the good day.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Do you remember the song? This is the day. This is the day that the Lord has made.
That's every day. I think that refers to every day,
Yes,
but this
those are supposed to be something you would repeat every day that God has made, and therefore it's something to be rejoiced in.
I
You know,
like
you
that. I
don't
sort of
know.
thought of it as
Th-
Sunday,
this is-
basically, or
This
Sabbath. But
Jeremiah verse is talking about a specific future day when the branch of David will come and bring righteousness and justice to the land.
yeah, I can see why they expected Jesus to become king with this kind of a prediction.
Yes. So this is one of the background why they weren't satisfied with Jesus as a Messiah. He said, well, we wanted peace, world peace. We do not have world peace. So he does not qualify.
Oh,
Mhm. Mhm.
But do you see the appeal of being safe and living securely? Because part of this prophecy is that Israel will be secure. No one will be attacking or oppressing Israel anymore. Do you see why that would be appealing and be something to say, this is a good thing to look forward to?
Yeah. And
Well,
I think
this one,
probably in the day of the Lord, it will be that way. But Jesus did not bring that
Yeah.
at the time that he was here.
Uh-huh. And of course, there's reasons why this is sort of ambiguous, why Amos is warning against it. So look at Deuteronomy 23:25 for what's also implied in the day of the Lord, that Amos might be warning against expecting that too eagerly.
Okay, I'll read this one.
sure.
Okay.
I will get revenge and pay them back at the time of their foot slips, for the day of their disaster is near, and the
Jesus.
impending judgment is rushing upon them. That
so
doesn't.
it's got some people acting the other way. Like this goes back to the
Mm-hmm. Well, so have you ever had someone wrong you
Amos.
and wanted to see them punished? Because I think of times when I had dentists that I thought did the treatment wrong and then charged me more than it was worth for it. And I was very unhappy with what happened with them. And I wanted to say, I wish something horrible would happen to that dentist. But
That's not what was it? Romans 12
yes.
taught us at
So
the end
that's why
there.
Amos is warning these people out. Woe to you who long for the day of the Lord. If you're longing for all those bad people getting punished and that
Oh.
righteousness, there's something wrong with that. You do not get rewarded for that longing. This could backfire on you.
Huh.
If you're having this say, I long for the day of the Lord because all these bad people, they're going to get their comeuppance.
Yeah.
Hmm. And yet I see God as an ever forgiving, always forgiving God. I'm not sure how that relates.
So Amos is saying, look, don't be focused on this day of the Lord, because even though, yes, we have this punishment coming, this righteousness coming, this idea of we need to get rid of the bad people by punishing them is not just all it's cracked up to be. It's not actually the way to solve everything is to punish the bad people. So
Yeah, well, there's also think about the verses that say that the rain falls on the just and the unjust. Everybody gets the benefit of the rain and the sun and a lot of other things. So you can't really tell, that somebody's blessed by God more than somebody else, but maybe they are. I don't know why I said that. I don't know.
So Isaiah does talk about how, okay, yes, the day of the Lord involves this punishment, but because the punishment will fall on the just and the unjust, you shouldn't look forward to it too much. So look at Isaiah 13:6-9. If someone will look it up and read that.
I have
Isaiah?
20% battery, so I got to plug in my phone, but I can still hear you.
I can do that. Isaiah 13:6-9.
Yes.
How ye,
Yes, please.
how ye, for the day of the Lord is at hand. It shall come as a destruction from the Almighty. Therefore shall all hands be faint, and every man's heart shall melt, and they shall be afraid. Pangs and sorrows shall take a hold of them.
Wow.
They shall be in pain as a woman that travaileth. They shall be amazed at one another. Their faces shall be as flames. Behold, the day of the Lord cometh, cruel both with wrath and fierce anger,
Oh,
to lay the land desolate, and he shall destroy the sinners there out of it.
what is that out of? Is that Old Testament stuff?
That's
Yeah,
Isaiah.
Isaiah.
That was Isaiah.
So
So
this
it
is
must be
an I-
before.
One possible prophecy of a day of the Lord. And this is just destruction everywhere. And you would see why, even if it was going to get the people you disliked, you still did not want to be part of that.
Wow.
Wouldn't, no.
Uh-huh.
And yet, I don't know, I forgot which Psalm, but recently one I was reading talks about the earth melts away, but our hope is in Jehovah. We have God no matter what, what happens.
And we do it in Revelation. Does this, look, there is a prize worth the price that comes with the day. There's Revelation 21:4-6 shows the other side why it is still some people wanted it. So somebody read Revelation 21 verses 4-6.
Wow. Okay, hold on. Revelations 21, 4-6. I can read that if you want.
Please.
Yeah, go to
And he will wipe away, there's the other side. He will wipe away every tear from their eyes. There will no longer be any death. There will no longer be any mourning or crying or pain. The first things have passed away. And he who sits on the throne said, Behold, I am making all things new. And he said, Write, for these words are faithful and true. Then he said to me, It is done. I am the Alpha and the Omega, the beginning and the end. I will give water to the one who thirsts from the spring of the water of life without cost. This is certainly something I would want, even if I had to go through destruction to get it. You ever expected a good thing but gotten something better instead? How did you feel about not getting what you expected?
Oh, that went a little beyond the verse, but
yeah, sorry,
Sorry
that's
about
the
that,
question.
folks. The end is, I will give water to the one who thirsts from the spring of the water of life without cost. Yes.
yeah.
When these necessities of life are just there and provided automatically, and you don't have to worry about whether you worked enough to get a certain price or not. God is just giving it to everyone. So even though there is a bad side of, oh, everyone gets a punishment irregardless, there's also, oh, but afterwards all things are made again new. So there's this good goal at the end. So but of course this is a New Testament prophecy. So this is something the Jews didn't have in their old promise, but they just had a promise of Israel be at peace and in security. And they could say, well, that was good. We did want the peace and security. We wanted people to stop attacking us. And
Mhm.
so
the Gaza
basically
people would like.
the New Testament message is replacing the old promise of just peace and security with this new promise that says, oh, not only do you get peace, you get everybody has prosperity and no more death and all these other good things that are part of the new revelation that Christ brings. So the new peace that Christ brings, you still get the peace, but you get all these other goods added onto it. So even though you don't get the immediate peace in our time, security now, with the world basically as it is, you still get the world destroyed and made new again, but it's a different, better world. So
Mm-hmm.
in some sense, okay, the promise good of the peace with their neighbors, that was a good thing, but God is saying yes, but now you'll get something even better with this new new promise of the second coming that Christ brings, where he says, yes, we're still going to get your peace, but we're going to do this complicated way. So has anybody here ever had this situation where they got something different from, they still got a gift, but it was different from what they expected?
That's a quite question.
When I was like about 12 years old, my mother had made a monkey doll for me and wrapped it up for Christmas. And I was so disappointed because I was beyond that kind of thing. But my older sisters had bought me lipstick, perfume, and a really nice skirt and things. And it was like they understood where I was at and she didn't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it was all right. But I'll tell you the truth, I wish I had that monkey doll today.
Let's say, look, there was still some value in that monkey doll, even though it wasn't quite what you wanted at the time. You could still say yes, but there was something about the love your mother put into it that was something valuable, that you could see the value looking back on it now.
Yes.
Yeah.
So even though your mother maybe didn't get you the grown-up dress you initially wanted, you can say, look, she was trying to get you something nice, and you appreciate that. Even though you also, and you could say you miss that she didn't quite get you exactly what you wanted, but your sister did get you a gift that you really wanted, and you can enjoy that even while you said, yes, but the monkey doll wasn't what you wanted to play with right then. But you could say there was something good in that looking back.
Interesting.
So let's look at another place in Romans where it's talking about processing.
Did you say Romans?
Somebody will read,
Romans?
we'll read Romans 12, 15, and 16.
I can read that.
Sure.
Okay, go ahead.
Rejoice with them that do rejoice, and weep with them that weep. Be of the same mind one toward another. Mind not high things, but condescend to men of low estate. Be not wise in your own conceits.
So here in Romans, Paul is saying, look, mourn with those that mourn. So why do you think what do you think value he sees in mourning with those who mourn?
Really listening to somebody. I'm sorry.
Yeah, really listening to somebody, that's good.
Really listening to somebody, really being able to be there with somebody, and you can make a difference sometimes, just really saying, listening.
Okay, that's their perspective. They've lost something that they felt valuable and important to them, and you need to be able to honor that emotion, their place they're coming from. This is also, Jesus also teaches this sense. And so somebody look at Matthew 5, 4 through 6. We see Jesus teaching the same thing.
Matthew 5.
Oh.
Yes, this is Matthew 5, verses 4 through 6.
Okay.
Is it okay if I read it?
Yeah, go ahead.
Blessed are they that mourn, for they shall be comforted. Blessed are the meek, for they shall inherit the earth. Blessed are they which do hunger and thirst after righteousness, for they shall be filled. When you lose something,
that's my commentary. Just where I'm thinking, right. Okay, why does both Jesus and Paul teach this importance of honoring the mourning? He says, look, if you lose something and you're feeling that mourning, there's something to honor about the good thing that was there that you don't have anymore. So he's saying, look, so if you're looking at what the Jews are going through, is they lose this promised that the Messiah would come in their time and bring world peace. Look, it was a good dream that they would be safe and secure and nobody would be attacking them anyway. This was a good thing. And we
Yeah.
can honor that and say, yes, that was a good thing. It's very understandable to mourn that, and it should be mourned. It should be honored that this is a good thing. And it is sad that they do not have it right now.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So what does mourning for a lost promise look like for you? I mean, I don't know if you've ever been in the situation where it looked like you were sure you were getting world peace or something like that, and then it didn't happen. But what does mourning a lost hope look like for you? I'm sure there's lots of people who had a certain view of a utopian future for this and for America, and are disappointed in where it looks like it's going now. And at the various times that happens, we need to mourn with those who mourn and accept, okay, they had a vision. And if it's not happening, we need to acknowledge the mourning for what was good in that vision. So what does mourning for something look like for you?
I think being able to feel their feelings and understand,
Mm-hmm.
and I guess that's compassion, being compassionate.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Would
Being compassionate to those who have had a clear vision of what was going to happen and the good that they thought a certain system was going to generate and or a certain situation would generate. I mean, it's certain this happened to a lot of people in Israel right now, where they thought, look, we've got a good system of defense now. It's going to work and we're going to be able to stop all these terrorist attacks. And now it's coming across, it's not as easy as they first thought it was, and they're having trouble with it now and are seeing attacks and having to go
Well,
through a bunch of stuff
yeah.
to try to adjust to.
And families are living with losing everybody,
Mm-hmm.
and being killed
Bad.
though in the Gaza. It's
Mhm.
just that's a really big lost hope.
Mm.
Mm-hmm.
We had a lost hope in a sense when Zero was born,
Mm-hmm.
because he was not, the child that we thought he was going to be. And
You
how do
always
you do
picture
that?
a
How do you live
fully
with that?
healthy child as you look forward to a new child. You think that you always want a healthy child, and you imagine that. And if they have any sort of things, then you have to deal with, okay, the things you envisioned for them. It they may struggle more than you wanted them to struggle.
Mm.
And you could say, yes, we mourn the fact that this kid is going to struggle more.
Mm.
And of course, you have empathy for that child, and you do not want to see them going through struggles.
Mm.
Yeah, but we have gotten a lot of blessings from Zero, so
Mhm.
it's
Yeah.
not what we expected, but yeah.
Mhm. So Jesus said, "Blessed are those who mourn, for they shall be comforted." What do you think being comforted might look like in various scenarios?
Sometimes a physical hug from someone, sometimes an agreement that what you're not sure other people will agree with do. That's comfort.
Mm-hmm.
You also have comfort foods,
Ah!
Yeah, I indulge in those a lot. Comfort foods. I'm planning this Thanksgiving meal with lots of comfort foods in it.
Ah,
Mm.
Yeah, we can comfort each other by being there.
Mm-hmm. And sometimes there is the empathy of others, understanding that this is painful and that yes, what you're missing, it was a good thing, and they're honoring the good in the vision and the hope that you had.
And hopefully you can help them renew their hope,
Mhm.
Mhm.
and see the good, see the blessing.
Mhm.
You're not going to tell them that when they're suffering. You're not going to tell them, oh, well,
Uh-huh.
you'll see the good in this eventually. You don't want to tell them, but, you know, just encouraging them to hope is,
To
Mhm.
be there, it's important to be with feelings, is my experience, is that it's
Mhm.
important to know that what I'm feeling is what I'm feeling, and then
Mhm.
and appreciate somebody else leaning into me and comforting me, and then I can go on to being able to comfort somebody else, or being able to do something and find myself in joy. I can do that, but it is important to acknowledge that if you're mourning, or if you're in, if it's sadness, anger, all those wonderful things that we experience, is important for me to acknowledge that I have them.
Mhm.
Mhm.
Because you can do that more than I can, Anne. He'll be feeling sad, and you go, I know you're feeling sad, and I'm really sorry about that. And he hears you.
Mhm.
Mhm.
I'm not quite as good as that as you are.
Mhm.
So the author of Hebrews is leading us through, okay, one of the issues with as we change our expectation is we do need to mourn anything that was good in our previous hopes, and acknowledge to ourselves and to others that we are disappointed. That was a good thing we were hoping for. And so next week we're going to go on that Hebrews go on to moving the focus. Okay, now there is also this new promise of the future kingship Jesus is promising. So we'll be looking at that next week.
Thank
Good.
you. Good.
So we have Thanksgiving next week.